Date September 30th, I feel on top of the world. I finally found happiness, including a girl. But this time around, there ain't nothing that can stop me. I'm not letting my emotions break me down and top me, cause now I found my path and I'll do anything to get there. I'm climbing out of this abyss and I ain't stopping yet. There isn't one thing on my mind except me. I'm not focused on trying to make you all accept me. I'm just focused on my girl and trying to achieve my dreams. My vision's clear for once and everything is what it seems. No longer getting picked last on my own team. A funeral's more expensive than raised self-esteem. I see it now that I didn't die for a reason. I'm destined for more, any less is self-treason. I already crawled back from my own defeat, and now it's time for me to shine. JD Payne season. 2 years later, couldn't be greater. Life heating up like I'm at the equator. Now I'm all smiles, no more denial. I see it now, living life is all worthwhile. 2016, I had to put up quite a fight. I sat for 3 hours thinking I wasn't worth it on that night. It was a hard time in my life, but it was easiest to write. I never thought once I'd rise from the ashes to these heights. I kept overthinking things and it held me at the bottom. I was planted in the shade and never thought that I could blossom. All triggered by a girl who had broken my heart. She thought our time was finished, but I was still at the start. I really hoped to write this last year, I hoped that it changed, but things fell apart again and happiness seemed arranged. I felt apart from my body and my soul felt estranged. I didn't feel depressed this time, instead I felt enraged, because I had the key in hand to unlock all the chains, but was afraid loneliness was all that would remain. A year had gone by and I was still stuck where I was a year before, but one more and all that changed because 2 years later, couldn't be greater. Life heating up like I'm at the equator. Now I'm all smiles, no more denial. I see it now, living life is all worthwhile. So I'ma take this last verse to say that no one's alone. Nobody going through a slump is going through on their own. Sometimes you need a few tears just to water your seed, and even after that you're sprouting in the garden of weeds. But someone's there to pick you up and let you know your own worth. You may have felt dead inside, but now it's time for rebirth, because I know there's a reason you were put on this earth. You're supposed to keep fighting even when your heart's feeling hurt. I know it happens to everybody, it happened to me, but know that somebody's there to get you back up to your feet, even when you're at your worst and you feel you've been beat. A hero's someone who rises after facing defeat. So let your petals bloom and let your garden restore, because like me you'll never know exactly what's in store. I won that fight 2 years ago and now I'm winning this war. I'll go to bed to live on another happy day more. 2 years later, couldn't be greater. Life heating up like I'm at the equator. Now I'm all smiles, no more denial. I see it now, living life is all worthwhile. 2 years later, couldn't be greater. Life heating up like I'm at the equator. Now I'm all smiles, no more denial. I see it now, living life is all worthwhile.